Hey guys, how is everybody? Hey Mo, hey Ginger, hey Tick Turtle. How are you? We'll give it a couple seconds. Yay, I'm happy to see all of y'all. Hey Late, there you are. Yay. I'm so happy. Can y'all hear me okay? Hey Mama 12, how are you? Okay, yay. I did my AirPods, connected them to my computer, and I was a little bit worried. The first time I've used them for a live, and I was a little bit worried that they wouldn't going to work real good. But hey, yeah. Hey Lulu, how are you? Yay! I'm so happy to see y'all. We'll get started here in just a second. Oh no, I said Mama. I'm sorry, Late. I'm so happy to see everybody. I want to apologize to y'all. We have had the crud in our house. My husband and I evidently have been giving it back and forth to each other. Um, we've been battling it basically since right after Christmas, and I'd get better, then he would get better. I would get better, then he would get it. I'd get better, he would get it. And we both ended up going to the doctor last week. He went Wednesday and I went Thursday, and we were tested for COVID, and both of us were negative. But they gave us both sinus cocktail shot and some antibiotics. But yeah, we would just no. We had the crud. Like no, our relationship has been fine. We've had the sinus crud. I couldn't I couldn't hardly talk. My voice was gone. And yes, we were passing the cold or sinus infection or something back and forth to each other. It was just a mess. But I just wanted to talk to everybody a little bit today and kind of start getting back in the routine of doing lives. Oh, you had COVID. Oh, like I'm so sorry. Ugh, that's not good. I want to start kind of getting back into regular lives. I've missed everybody, and yeah, it's time. I wanted to also, while I was talking about my health, I wanted to let everyone know February the 10th. um, oh, you're welcome, Lulu. We're glad to have you here. February the 10th, I will be out of state. I will be in Texas again. I have been having some issues that could have been neurological, but I'm thankful that we have figured out what it is. I have scar tissue from a surgery that I had in Texas, built up in my sinus cavity, and it's hitting and pulling around my occipital nerve in my eye. Good morning, Angela P. Yay! I'm so glad to see y'all. Um, Yeah, everyone's welcome here. We kind of have a rule here. Everyone's welcome here till you give us a reason not to welcome you. I mean, as long as you're respectful, we will welcome everyone. But I have a medical issue where where there's scar tissue in my sinus cavity where I had surgery, and it is hitting my occipital nerve, and the surgeon thinks I need surgery again. Yes, ladies, it's great news. It does mean a trip back to Texas. I live in Tennessee. That's 700 miles from me, but it's okay. Um, we have We have budgeted for things like this. We are ready for things like this. And Lulu, it can be very painful. My eye has spasms and I have trouble even getting words out. I mean, Mo, I've called Mo before and Mo could barely understand what I was trying to say. It will be a long trip late, but we're planning to fly this time. In the past, we've driven it, but we're planning to fly this time. It is not $700. There was a rumor going around that I had asked my subs for $700. No, 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 no. I have to go 700 miles for the trip. I've never asked my subs for a single solitary dime, and I never will. Unless heaven forbid there's something catastrophic happens. Um, my husband has a flex care spending account to take care of. I do have PayPal. Um, it's my case discussion at gmail.com. But my husband has a flexible spending account through his work that we budget for things like this. And then, yeah, I don't ask people to donate. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Not that there's anything wrong with it at all. If you need those things, but I'm blessed. And thank you, Mama 12. I appreciate that. I'm blessed. And yeah, my husband he has a pretty decent job and we're blessed. We didn't always have such an easy time, but we do right now. And yeah. Um but there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help if you need it. But I don't want the rumor going around that I ask my subs to give me $700 for a trip for medical care. I don't want that going around. So I wanted to clear that up. I did not ask anyone to give me $700. I have to go 700 miles for the surgery. So I don't know if someone just heard the 700 and thought I was asking for money, but please, I don't want anyone to ever think that. I don't. Um, God takes care of us. I'm a firm believer in that. I know some people may not agree with that, and it's okay. Everyone has their own religions, their own beliefs and everything, but God takes care of us. And I firmly believe that God has took care of me and my husband to be able to for me to go get the care that I need. Um, it took it took 10 years to find this doctor. 10 years it took me of suffering, and after I had the stroke, it took 10 years, different medical procedures, different things to find this doctor. And yeah, 10 years after I had the stroke, and then I started having migraines from the swelling and the damage and everything in my head. So hey Earth Angel, how are you? So yeah, but again, there's absolutely nothing wrong if you do need to ask for help. And I want to encourage everyone, if you're going through a difficult time and you do have a fundraiser, let us know. Let one of the mods know, let me know, and we can drop your link and let the subs know. And if someone feels led to donate to you, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind it at all. Not one bit. If you have a channel and you're trying to build your channel, let one of us know. Thank you, Angela P. I appreciate that. Let one of us know, and we will drop your link. I don't mind that either because I know I'm not always on. I'm not on live 24/7. I don't even go live every single day right now. So why would I care, to share your link, and if someone that wants to come and listen to you, they can. So let us know, and be happy to. There's something else I want to address real quick. is people coming into chats and using God's name in vain. That bugs me. I've been seeing that, not in here. Of course, I haven't been live, but I've been seeing that in some channels. Please don't use God's name in vain if you do come in here. Please don't. I mean, your belief system is your belief system. Oh, thank you, Lulu. But as for me and my house, we believe in God. We believe in heaven. We believe in prayer. And when you use God's name in vain, you're insulting other people. Hey, SM, thank you so much. And I just don't want that. I think it's disrespectful. Ah, thank you so much, Late. I appreciate that. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Yes, it just came through on my phone. Thank you. I do appreciate that. You're so sweet. Um also, um if when you go into a chat, if you use racial slurs and you use terrible names to describe another human being, oh, it will help late. I appreciate that so much. But if you go into a chat and you use racial slurs and stuff to attack other people or describing other people, you don't know. You don't know if that person on the other side of the screen, you don't know if what race or nationality they are. You don't know what their family members are. You don't know. And I've been hearing people use racial slurs. That's disgusting. See, what y'all don't realize is my son is dating someone that has a racial little girl. And she's Indian and African American. And speaking of her, her little girl is. I'm sorry. She's the little girl. Her little girl is Indian and African American. Speaking of my son's girlfriend, she just texts me and asks me if I'm cooking supper tonight. Guess who's coming to see me, Mo? Guess who's coming to see me? But anyway, you don't know what that other person on the other side of your keyboard, what's color their skin is. You don't know. And you're going to offend people. It's unnecessarily hurtful, Ginger. You're exactly right. It's unnecessarily hurtful. There are other ways to use your words. Mama Choice, she is beautiful. That little girl is so beautiful. She is 9 months old and she's absolutely beautiful. She is my family. She is right now, she's the only grandchild that I have. And I absolutely positively adore her. And I told Mo this morning on the phone, I said, when that happens, I feel it even strongly. You're taking a jab at me, and not when it comes to her. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. I'll make your nightmare seem like a happy place if you start messing with her. She's my little angel. And that the little innocent kids, they don't ask to be here. They don't ask for any of this. They can't defend themselves. And how dare you use words? Hey, anxious, how are you, sweetheart? How dare you use words to insult someone that you're never going to lay your eyes on? And you wouldn't say that to their face if they were in front of you. How dare you? Stop that mess. She is absolutely precious. She has It's kind of funny. She has diapers and wipes and toys and everything at my high chair, everything at my house already. And they've only been dating I've only known about her about a month. My son's been dating her for about 4 months or so, but we've only met her like in the past month. Oh, she already has toys, high chair, wipes, diapers, medicine, baby food, everything at my house. She is absolutely positively my heart. And no, think about that. When you say something derogatory towards somebody, you're talking about somebody's child. I don't care if they're 50 or 60 years old, that's somebody's child. And you're talking derogatory about them, you don't know that person. All you know of them is YouTube. You don't know that person in real life. You don't know that person. And a couple of my mods have been attacked in other chats, and I'm very upset by it. Stop it. There's no sense in that. Just cut it out. There's just, hey Sharon, and how are you, sweetheart? Just cut that mess out. There's no sense in it. None. Stop it. And I want my mods, I'm not going to call out any names because there's no need in me doing that, but I want the ones or any my subs or mods or anybody that's been negatively hurt by anybody in another chat to know that I have your back. I know my channel's relatively small compared to others. I'm doing pretty good, Shannon. It's good to see you. I know my channel is relatively small compared to others, but I want you to know that I have your back. Your mod friends, they have your back. We have each other's backs. And when you come for one of us, you come for all of us. Yeah. And when you speak of someone with a disability, a sexual orientation, race, it's not right. See? I'm going to use Mo as an example. Some of you know Mo was in a car accident, and 19 years ago, Mo is in a wheelchair. She's partially paralyzed from the knees down. See, I didn't know that when we first became friends, but I never said anything negative about a person with disabilities either. Mo and I were talking on the phone and had talked on the phone a few times before she ever told me. And I understand probably why she may have been a little hesitant to tell me at first, because she probably didn't know how I would respond. But you know what? Mo has become one of my dearest friends. She really has. I've told y'all before, Mo has my husband's cell phone number. They've texted each other. My husband knows when I come out of surgery, Mo better be notified that I'm okay. I like I said, he went to the doctor Wednesday and got a shot, and then I went Thursday. So he got to feeling better a little bit before I did over this crud stuff. So he asked me Saturday. He said, "You haven't mentioned Mo in a couple of days. Are you still talking to Mo? Are you being rude to Mo? Are you ignoring her?" I said, "No, I talked to Mo this morning," because he had to work Saturday. I said, "I talked to Mo this morning." I said, "We talk to each other every single day. If we don't talk on the phone, we're texting." Because a lot of the time while during this, I couldn't talk. You couldn't understand me. So we would text each other. But yeah, so I told Mo this morning on the phone, I said, you've got a good man when he makes sure that you're not ignoring your girlfriends. But guys, just remember that when you say something about someone, hey, Christy. Yes, she is, Ginger. She is the sweetest person. Mo is really, really sweet. I love Mo. Mo is so good. But yeah, you don't know when you say something negative about a disability, a sexual orientation, color of someone's skin, anything like that. what that you're saying to someone. You don't know. You could be causing them serious issues. So just remember that, guys. Just from we can all do better and be better and everything else. And oh Mo, you're so sweet, girl. Um, you know, Amanda Zananda and I don't always see eye to eye on stuff, I'm sure. But Amanda talks about not supporting hate and negativity all the time and everything. That's something I can get behind. You don't have to. And really, this 2 weeks being sick taught me something. It actually was an experiment, and blind experiment. I didn't realize it was really an experiment going to happen, but it proved that certain people, no matter if you're offline and not able to go online, they're still going to talk about you. They're still going to. Oh, hey, shot of poison. They're going to talk about you. It's up to you what you give them to talk about. It is. So, and you can say, oh, I wouldn't mention their name if they didn't mention mine. So who keeps mentioning who to get views and then causes turmoil? Yes. Amanda says a lot. Stop the hate. That's exactly right. Hashtag stop the hate. I don't always agree with everything that Amanda says, but the general idea of that I can get behind. Stop it. Hey, Deputy Doo. Oh, you're welcome, Shot of Poison. Glad to see you. Sorry, guys. My phone went off again. Okay. Now, we got all that out of the way. I wanted to talk about a little bit, if you guys don't mind, about Summer Wells and everything that's going on in that case. Did y'all hear that there was another police presence at the Wells home on the 19th of this month? Mo heard the live, but Mo thought what they were talking about previous time, but it was actually the 19th. And yeah. So, hey, Amanda C. Dawn and Candace got in. I'm afraid it won't either, Sharon Ann. I'm afraid it won't. That's okay, late. I understand. Sometimes they slip on me too. Dawn and Candace got into an argument again. Candace called the law on Dawn. Candace told the police that Dawn hit her and assaulted her, and she thought that her hand was broken. I mean, her finger was broken. Excuse me. She thought that her finger was broken. Well, the police got to the house and the police did not arrest him. The police gave her information on getting a restraining order if she chose to, and how to go to the police department and press charges herself if she wanted to. But evidently, they didn't find enough evidence that an assault had taken place, so they did not arrest him, according to the news agency. And yeah, they're not people that are trying to go in there and say that they're going to Rogersville and claim that they're going to, quote unquote, help find Summer. You're not doing anything. You're hurting Summer's case. You're hurting the chance on Summer getting justice for whatever has happened to her. If she was kidnapped, if she was sold for trafficking, or whatever happened, you're not doing anything to help Summer's case. I live in Tennessee. I know how Tennessee works. If they had probable cause to arrest her parents, guess what? In Tennessee, her parents would be in jail. They would be in jail. Tennessee, I can't remember if it was last year. I'm sorry, guys. My memory gets a little mixed up sometimes. But I can't remember if it was last year. I think it was last year. They found a man guilty for killing his 5-year-old child 3 years earlier, and the little boy's body has never been found. The man made 3 confessions, and he recanted those confessions, but they've never found Joe Clyde Daniels' body. He was from Dixon County, Tennessee. Guess what? His daddy was sentenced to prison in September. I just looked, it was September of last year. His dad was sentenced to prison in September for what likely will be the rest of his life for murder of that little boy. Tennessee does not play. If they have any way to prove that you did something to your child, you're going to jail. That's just the way it is. Yes, Tennessee does not play. They do not play. You can look up Joe. His dad's name was also Joseph Daniels, but look up Joe Clyde Daniels if you want to read about it. His mom is going to trial, I think, in February for child abuse. And his mom is going to jail for child abuse and failure to report a death because they suspect that she knows that her husband did something to their son and did not report it to the police. So, yeah, Tennessee does not play. And you walking around accusing somebody of murdering their child and you don't have any evidence, I'm pretty sure you're not smarter than the TBI. I'm pretty sure of that. Like I said, I don't know what evidence they have no more than anyone else. I'm not saying that Don and Candace are innocent. I'm not saying that, but I'm also not saying they're guilty either. I don't know. I don't know. And you don't either. And what good did it do to get in front late? Oh, thank you, Ginger. Lord, I'll tell you. He called the TBI agent on the phone from the jail. Joseph Daniels did, Joe Clyde's daddy, and he told him that come and get him from the jail, and he would take them in the car and tell them where the little boy's body was. They took him all over the county practically, and he kept telling them different areas to go to. They never found his body. But guess what? That man is in prison for murder. Yeah, even saying that she's dead, one person hearing you say she's dead, maybe they stop looking for her. Then what? Then what? You want to keep Summer's case alive? Keep Summer alive until we have evidence of otherwise. Don't tell people she's dead. Exactly, late. There are some people that don't believe that his daddy murdered him. I'm just going to tell you that. If y'all look him up, y'all will see. There are some people that do not believe that his daddy murdered him. There was actually one of the witnesses that some people think there was a witness that came down the road in a car and claims that he saw Joseph Daniels standing on the side of the road holding Joe Clyde. And it was thought that maybe there was a bridge nearby, and it was thought that maybe he threw him off the bridge into the water. And but they searched that river and everything, and they never did find him. But there was damage to that man's there was damage to that witness's car. And when a news anchor went to him, not a news anchor, but a private detective, excuse me, went to him to talk to him after he testified, because he wanted to make sure that he didn't do anything to hinder the trial. After he testified, that the private detective went to him and talked to him and asked him about the damage to his car, and he claimed he hit a deer. And that private detective said that it did not appear to be like a deer damage. That private detective lives in the South too, and he said, a deer usually goes up and over the hood of your car, and this kind of rolled on the side of the car. And the private detective asked him if it was possible that maybe he saw Joe Clyde on the side of the road, because they admitted to letting Joe Clyde out. And at different times, because he had a habit of wetting his bed. So his mama would put him outside. So the private detective speculated that man hit the little boy. Well, guess what? That man, around Christmas time, he took his life. He took his life. That man had been questioned so much about, did he hit Joe Clyde Daniels? He took his life. He killed himself. And guess what? They still don't know where Joe Clyde's little body is. So all of you little heroes who think putting pressure on someone is going to make them talk. So you've got a man dead, a wife that's mourning the loss of her husband, more kids growing up without a daddy, 2 other kids, Joseph and Crystal Daniels' biological children, 2 sons. The other 2 sons are now in custody of family members. Crystal Daniels' brother took custody of her children when she was arrested. And now Joseph and Crystal Daniels are in jail. And nobody knows if they really are responsible for the death of their son. So you really need to think about things. And if you don't believe me, look up Joseph and Crystal Daniels of Dixon County, Tennessee, and you'll see. They searched and searched and searched for Joe Clyde Daniels. Joe Clyde's favorite fruit was apples. I mean, everybody knew practically in Tennessee knew Hey, Rowdy Gal, how are you? Everybody in Tennessee practically knew everything about Joe Clyde Daniels. I mean, he had 2 little teeth in the front missing. He had lost his 2 front teeth. He was autistic. He was nonverbal. His parents said that he pushed a coffee table over to unlock a hatch on the door that they had the door locked, and let himself out. Well, his teachers came forward and said that's impossible. He didn't have the motor skills to do that. So, you don't know just by reading information online about a child. You don't know. Let the people that do know do what they do best. And for heaven's sakes, don't go in a church and videotape a child. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just going to say that. Please don't do it. In Tennessee, you have to have signed consents from parents to videotape or take pictures of their children. My husband's a youth minister. I know those things because we have to do those things. Don't do it. Don't. Because I'm going to tell you what, if that had happened at our church, my husband would have been obligated to call the law on you, even if the parents didn't. We would have had to call the law on you and file a report. Because otherwise, another adult could go to jail for not reporting it. That's disgusting. Don't do it. You can go in my husband's office at church right now and see folders where where we keep consents parents have signed for giving permission for us to take pictures of their child especially when we have a special activity or something at church and we know there's a possibility people are going to be taking pictures. We Yeah, Amanda C's exactly right. The TBI knows what they're doing, and we have to let them do their job. Yeah, let them do their job. And I just want to say one more thing about that, and then we'll talk about some other stuff if y'all want to. But also, I admire bikers for children. I really do. They've done some awesome things for children. But if anybody out there knows anybody that might be coming to Tennessee on a motorcycle, please warn them that they're going into a mountainous area. My husband's from that area in East Tennessee. I have a brother that lives about 45 minutes away from where Summer went missing. Warn them that there's snow and ice up there. And I don't think I would head out on a motorcycle to that area. That's just my opinion. So they might want to check the weather out before they think about heading to East Tennessee on a motorcycle right now. Yeah. What if they had donated all of those funds that they used to go on those trips and everything and donating them to a private investigator that knows what they're doing, works with the police, and can assist the police? Just saying. Think about how much better that money could have went to use. Exactly, Amanda. Unless you're a professional in some type of way, it's best just to stay away from up there. Just stay away. Oh, thank you, Earth Angel. But yeah, standing in front of a Department of Children's Services, that was disgusting. Do you realize that there are children in there that have either gotten taken away from their parents or are there maybe for a visit with their parents or are there to see a counselor or something? They've already went through a traumatic experience. That's what the building's there for. Do you want children to be traumatized more because you're outside being a loud butthole? Earth Angel, do you want to start a channel? Yeah, Lulu, they may have PTSD, exactly. And I just don't understand it. Why traumatize a child even more? We work with a lot of disadvantaged children, and I can tell you, people don't care what their children go through. That's where people like social workers and people that work at children's services and things like that. That's where they come into play. We've had children that we take on trips and they show up at church and we're going to go on a trip and stay gone for like 3 nights or whatever, like in East Tennessee. They show up without any money. Those children are already going through enough. Earth Angel, if you start a channel on senior living experiences, let me know and we'll be happy to drop your link. I don't mind supporting anyone that wants to grow and make our community better. I don't mind that at all. Just let me know. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Oh, I know what you mean, Ginger. Oh, Amanda, see, that's what I'm saying. I completely agree. I'm all for bikers. I am. My brother rides a motor. Two of my brothers ride motorcycles. I'm all for bikers. I really, really am. But one of my dear friends is an avid biker. He rides. He ships his bike out west every year and rides back to Tennessee. Hey, Violet, how are you? But I'm just saying there's a time and a place for everything. This ain't the time and this ain't the place. This ain't the time and this ain't the place, guys. It really is not. Um, let the people who know what they're doing do their job. Yay, Violet. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. But yeah, just let the people who know what they're doing do their job. Just let them. I just, I just wanted to say that. We haven't been live to discuss it, and I just wanted to put that out there. Oh, you're welcome, Amanda C. I mean, I guess it hits me harder, and because I do live in Tennessee, like I said, I have a brother that lives there that's 45 minutes away. My husband grew up in that area, y'all. And remember Mo, like we were talking about earlier, Mo had a car accident. Her anniversary is coming up on February the 11th, and like she said, she lived 100 miles from the area, and she knows what it's like. It's not a good area to be in the winter time. I mean, when we go to see my husband's family in East Tennessee, we literally call them the morning that we're leaving to go up there to make sure how the roads are and which way to go in before we leave. Or we go see my brother. We call them and make sure which way we need to come in before we go. And some of the roads up there you can't go on in the wintertime. You just can't do it. All right. I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit too about Gabby Petito. Did you guys see that that the FBI closed the investigation on Gabby? They basically said that in the notebook, Brian admitted to killing Gabby and that the investigation was closed. That's essentially what the report said. And Brian's family and Gabby's family, oh, Violet, that's so good. You homeschool your daughter. That's a big responsibility. I admire anyone that can do that. I don't think I could have done it when my boys were growing up. Oh, okay, Earth Angel. Will you just let me know? My email's in my about section, Earth Angel. If you want to email me, I'll be happy to talk to you about it if you want to talk about it. Yeah, Christy, I do too. That's what I was about to say. Gabby's parents and Brian's oh, that's good, Violet, that you have a teacher for a helper. That's really good. Gabby's parents and Brian's parents uh reached an agreement on what to do with their possessions, who would take possession of the notebook. Okay, guys, Brian's parents wanted that notebook. They wanted their hands on that notebook. They didn't want it in the public eye. They didn't want anyone to see that notebook. They didn't want it out there. So, what else was in? Well, I was in that notebook. Brian, what did you admit to doing in that notebook? Yes, I bet he was already gone, Mo, before they ever started looking for Gabby. I bet when Joe Petito came to, you're welcome, Earth Angel. I bet when Joe Petito came to his house and knocked on that door and said, "Where is my daughter?" I bet Brian about crapped in his pants because Joe Petito don't look like a man to me that you want to mess with. That's just my opinion. He does not look like somebody that you want to mess with. And I guarantee you, when Joe Petito came there and Brian realized the gig was up, and Joe Petito said, "Where is my daughter?" Brian and his mom and dad. Now, Violet, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. Violet says the bullets that killed that lesbian married couple match Brian's gun. I haven't heard that. I will investigate that, though, Violet. I mean, I'll check into it, see what I can find. Not investigate it. That was the wrong word, but but I will check into it. I sure will. But but yeah, I guarantee you, Brian realized the gig was up because Brian had every intentions of getting away with this, and he came home, bought a new cell phone, was outside mowing the yard, doing all this stuff. He sent some text messages, evidently to Gabby's phone, trying to make it appear like that, maybe they had just separated for a little while. She was doing her own thing and all that. And then when Joe Petito came to his house, I figured Brian was like, okay, the gig is up and I need to go take care of myself. And I mean, that's a terrible way to say it, but you have to be careful how you do say things. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, Emma. I think he was just trying to figure out if he could get away with it. And then when he couldn't, he was like, okay, the gig is up. I'm gone. Yeah. But yeah, he went there to get him some time with his family. I agree with that. But I wonder what all was in that notebook. And dude, why did you take? Okay, wait a minute. Mo sent me a link to an article. Wait just a second, guys. I'm reading something just real quick, okay? Hey Mo, can you drop that link in the chat? Yes, he was a coward. He was. He would not have done well in jail. He wouldn't have because he only survived on abusing women. Dude, you had 20 grand in the bank and you left your dead fiance, girlfriend, whatever he was referring to her as. You left her out in a remote area alone, and you used her debit card to get yourself back to Florida while you've got 20 grand in the bank. And I guarantee you some of that money was money that her parents put in her account for her. But you want to use her and her mom and daddy's money to get yourself home while you've got 20 grand in the bank. Dude, you are not right. And Bubba would have had fun with him in jail. Mo dropped an article in chat, and it says it's about Gabby and Brian. And it says police say they have identified persons, but it says persons with an S of interest in the murders of a Utah couple whose family believe they may have crossed paths with Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. And they were found shot to death. And but officials have said that they have ruled out any possibility that Brian was involved, according to this article. But they have identified a person of interest, but they haven't released any information about the person yet. But it is kind of suspicious that the hotel that Brian was sent to stay in when Gabby was sent off by herself that night from the police was only 7 minutes away from where the women were found. So that is kind of suspicious. Let's see here. Find anything else. Okay, I don't see anything else right now. That's true, Ballard. I agree. The cops don't always tell the truth right at first. They don't. And mm, I will say this: I did see somebody tweet this the other day that when the FBI released the report, and Gabby's parents thanked the FBI in um, in Denver, Wyoming, and Utah and Florida for their help. They did not thank Northport Police Department. Gee, I wonder why. You let Brian leave his house and claimed you thought it was his mother driving the car. Yeah, it does say a persons of interest. It does not say a suspect. That is interesting. It is interesting. So just mm. There's just a lot happened lately, and I don't know. When I look at how the Petito Schmidt family have handled this, it amazes me because I don't know that I would have the grace that Gabby's parents have, all four of them. Mom, dad, stepdad, stepmother. I don't know that I would have that grace. Because if you come for my children or anyone in my family, I'm coming for you 5 times as hard. And I don't know that I would have that grace. And to be honest with you, it scares me sometimes to even think about it. Would I have that grace if somebody took the life of my child? And I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm coming for you if you hurt my child. Mo and I were talking this morning. My youngest son, he's 21, and he took the second COVID shot and he had a reaction to it. He got really sick within like 12 hours of taking the shot. I mean, he had 101.4 fever, coughing, aching, everything. And I honestly thought my son had COVID. I thought that he had COVID and the shot was just given to him right when he was catching COVID and everything. And but he was laying on my couch, and of course, Mommy Bear was up and taking care of him, and trying to help get his fever down and everything. And he literally wanted me to sit on the couch and hold his hand. His stomach, he was having really bad stomach aches and everything. And like I said, he was coughing and everything. And he said, Mom, I'm so sorry. He coughed on me a couple of times because he would cough and he would like doze off and he would cough, waking himself up coughing. And he would cough before he remembered to put his hand over his mouth sometimes. And I would tell him, honey, it's okay. I don't care. I don't care if you give me COVID. I don't care if you have COVID and you give it to me. I just want to make sure you're okay. And so I don't know that I would have the grace that Gabby's parents have. They amaze me. And they're proof that there are still good people in this world. They really are. They're proof, living proof that there are still good people in this world. And they are portraying everything that I would want to portray, but I don't think that I would have that grace. I really don't. And yeah, I just don't think that I would. Mm-mm. Like I said, if you come for my child, I'm coming for you 5 times as hard. And mm-mm. I promise you, if you come for my child, nice will be the last thing you remember about me. Oh, Lulu, he's feeling good. He's feeling good. He didn't have any problems now. But he got really, really sick from taking the second injection. I'm not telling anyone how to how to feel about the virus. I mean, about the injections before anybody says anything. I'm not telling you how to feel about it. I have a son my oldest son is 24, my youngest one is 21. Both of them had totally different opinions about the virus. And guess what? Mom and dad, thank you, Lulu. I appreciate that. Mom and dad supported their decision. My husband and I are both vaccinated. My youngest son is vaccinated. My oldest son is not vaccinated. I got tickled at my oldest son in a way because, in his mind, what if something was in there that kept you from being able to have children later in life? And the world comes to an end. I said, son, you sound like a conspiracy theorist. What are you talking about? He's not a conspiracy theorist. But that was what in his 24-year-old mind came to mind. And he said, Mom, I want to give it some time and get more information about it. But I will take the precautions I need to protect myself. I said, okay, that's your decision. You're 24 years old. Make up your own mind. And now this is my son that usually goes and gets a flu shot every year, and my youngest son won't go get a flu shot. My younger son will go if I remind him to. If I ask him, hey, have you got your flu shot yet? If he's off work that day, he'll run and get a flu shot. But my older son, he goes every year without me questioning him to get a flu shot. But he was not taking the COVID vaccine. And you know what? I'm okay with that. So if anybody's listening, if you haven't took a COVID vaccine, I don't want you to think that I'm talking negative about you, because I'm not. It's okay. We're all adults and we're free to choose your body. You choose when you have a headache whether or not to take Tylenol or Motrin. You can decide whether or not to put a medication in your to put a injection in your body. You can decide that, and I'm okay with it. And that's also the nurse in me talking to you. I'm okay with it. I'm really okay. I mean, it's your decision. Because what's good for me may not be good for you. Now, am I taking a lot of precautions right now? Yes. Yes, I am. I've left my house 2 times since Christmas. 2. One was to go eat lunch with my mother-in-law, and one was to go to the doctor. 3 times. I went to eat lunch with my mother-in-law. I went to the doctor last Thursday, and I went to the doctor yesterday. That's it. And Mo takes precautions. Mo hasn't left home, but see, my doctors warned me try not to get exposed to it, at least until I have my procedure done, because they don't know if my body is healthy enough to fight off COVID should I catch COVID. So I try my best to avoid it. Oh, wow, Amanda. No, you don't need it. If you've had blood clots in your lungs, no. My doctors warned me, my body may not be healthy enough right now. It may not be strong enough to fight off if I were to catch COVID. So right now I don't go anywhere. I don't go with my husband to church. I don't go anywhere. Nobody comes to my house if they have any signs of an illness. I don't. I tried to take all the necessary steps. My son came over one day to my older son doesn't live at home anymore, and he came over one day to see me. And while I had the crud, and I literally met him outside on the deck, and I told him, Mama's fighting something off. That was before I took the COVID test, and I don't think it's COVID. I don't want you exposed to me, and I don't want exposed to whatever you may have. I'm already fighting something off. So, yeah, we just take, because I knew he wasn't going to be here long anyway. He was just stopping to drop something off, and he had plans to go somewhere else. So I met him outside where there would be fresh air and everything. And but now I'm going to tell you though, what I'm thinking is going to be my future granddaughter, when she comes to visit me, guess what? I'm holding that baby. I'm holding her. But her mommy's been really careful about not bringing her around because she had little runny nose and everything. And her mom had to get tested for COVID, and they stayed away for the CDC guidelines 5 days. And the my son's girlfriend's COVID test came back negative. She didn't have any fever or anything. She didn't run any fever the entire time. So, oh, Lulu, you had surgery Friday? I am so sorry. Yeah, Lulu, was that, but did you have the COVID shot before or after your vaccine? Do you mind telling us? We're praying for you, Lulu. You got to take care of yourself. Oh, speaking of that, I had myself a note and I forgot to say this when I first went live. Um, you got the blood clots. Wait a minute, Lulu. You got the blood clots after you got the vaccine? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, Amanda. Respect everyone's right to make an informed decision. Oh, Violet, I'm so proud you're doing good now. Yes. Um, that's all that we can all do, guys, is make informed decisions about your own body. I'm really proud of my older son for the thought and the study, and everything. I mean, he has friends who are nurses, and he talks to them who are actually working on COVID floors. And he talks to them about, the injections and everything. And some of his friends are for the vaccine. Some of them are saying, I don't know about it either. So, I can understand my son being hesitant about getting it. Oh, Lily, really? Your son gives the vaccine? I want to with virus, what happened, but I can only wait till she. Yes, Violet, exactly. Oh, okay, Lulu. I bet you're so proud of me. Violet, that's good. You don't know if your daughter understands right now. And if you want to wait a little while and let her, talk to her and let her decide and everything, and let her make up her mind. That's really good. I wanted to show y'all something if you don't mind, real quick. I'm gonna turn my let me make sure I got it up here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have my phone. I'm going to have my phone up so I can read comments. But I want to share something with you. I had it ready. Just a second here. Mo and I were talking about this morning. I was going through my stuff and my phone to delete some screenshots and stuff that I didn't need anymore. And actually, no, I was doing the prayer requests is when I found these. And Mo had asked me, I was going to schedule this live, and Mo said, "Do you have the thumbnail?" And I said, I'll have to look. And she said, well, I'll look too. Because I couldn't remember where I had saved it at. And I scrolled real fast on my phone, and this was a picture that I landed on. Guys, if you don't believe in God, look at this card. This was my car in May of 2019. I was in the hospital. I had to have a pacemaker put in. I had a very low heart rate. My heart rate got down to 37. And while they were putting my pacemaker in, they punctured my left lung, and I had to have an emergency chest tube put in. The morning after all of it, my son was driving my car to school and back that week. My younger son was. He was 19 at the time, and he was driving 50 miles each way to school and back. So he was driving my car to school, and I get a phone number on my cell phone while the nurses are in the room with me. It was like 7 a.m. in the morning, and I saw the phone number. And hey, Justice, I told my husband, I said, you might want to take this. I said, make sure he's okay. I said, I know he's left to go to school because I'm very close to my son. And he called me that morning to see how I was and told me that he was leaving for school. My son hit some rocks on the side of the road and lost control and flipped. He said he flipped twice before before he closed his eyes and started praying for God to protect him, that he knew this wasn't going to go well, and for God to please protect him. And a woman saw it happen, and she stopped, and she said she screamed and asked if everybody was okay, and my son told her that he was alone in the car, and he couldn't get he was trying to get his phone out of his pocket. He couldn't get hands free to work. And she said, don't worry, I'm calling 911. And she told him, she said, I'm going to stay with you until help gets here. She said, are you sure you're okay? He said, I'm okay. He said, I just want out of this car. And she said she kept talking to him and said, try not to move, make sure you're not hurt or anything until help gets here. Well, after she called 911, he said, will you call my parents? He said, I need for my dad to know what's happened. And she said, sure, son. She said, but I need the phone number. Do you remember the phone number? He said, yes. He said, I'm going to give you my mom's cell phone number, but my mom is really sick right now. She's in the hospital. But tell her you just need to speak to my dad. Don't tell my mom what's going on. Just tell her you need to speak to my dad. He told her my husband's name. He said, but just tell her that you need to talk to my dad if she happens to be the one that answers the phone. So my husband answered the phone, and I heard my husband say, what highway? I'm on my way. And he said, and I heard her say, is he okay? I heard him say, is he okay? And so my husband hung up the phone, and he was frantically changing his clothes. He grabbed his jeans and went in the bathroom at the hospital and changed his clothes, and he still had on his sleeping shorts and a t-shirt. He quickly changed. Guys, hold on just a second, okay? Hold on just a minute, okay? Just a second, guys. Hey guys, I am so sorry. Thank you all so much, the ones that did stay and wait on me. I am so sorry. My dad had to go to another city to go to the doctor, and he wanted me to put an address in his map on his phone for him because he didn't know where the place was and he couldn't see to put the number in. So I'm so sorry, guys. All right. I don't tell y'all. Finish telling you what I was telling you about this. Okay. He my husband left the hospital to go be with my son, and I called I called that woman's number back, and I told her, I said, I'm a nurse. I said, I am in the hospital. She said, yeah. Uh, I know that you're in the hospital. Wait a minute. Uh, Somebody asked me if I got a new mic. No, I didn't get it. I didn't hook my new mic up yet. I'm using my AirPods. But yeah, I told her, I said, my husband's on his way. I said he's left, he's on his way. I said, please tell me if my son's really okay. I said, I know sometimes when things like this happen, you tell the family whatever just to get them there. I said, please tell me if he's really okay. She said, ma'am, I'm talking to him. She said, he's okay. She said, the sheriff's deputy is already here. She said, he's, because you can see the car landed on its side. And the deputy climbed up on the hood, on the side of the car, and was talking to my son and asking him, making sure he was okay and everything. And they called the rescue squad because they couldn't get him out of the car. And so yes, my family always comes before YouTube. Honestly, I thought I was just going to end the stream because I didn't realize my dad was coming. But yeah, my family will always come before YouTube, always. But the sheriff's deputy climbed up on the side of the car and was like standing on where the passenger door is. And he kept messing with the door, trying to open it to get my son out. And about the time that the rescue squad got there, the sheriff's deputy got the door open, and they helped my son get up the hill and got him into the ambulance and everything. And guys, I want to tell you, when I tell you there are angels on earth, there are really angels on earth. I couldn't have asked for anybody better to be working with my son. We have AirVac insurance on me, my husband, and my kids, and my dad. My dad lives just next door to me, so because technically we have the same address, basically. Our mail all comes to one box. So we were able to get for my dad to be covered under our plan for the AirVac. But anyway, so I told that lady, I said, if he's injured and they think that he needs to be flown out, I want him flown. I told her which hospital I wanted him taken to. And she said, no. She said he was moving everything when he got out of the thing. So they got him in the ambulance, and he was crying. And the paramedic asked him what she could do to make him feel better. They were going to take him to the hospital, that he needed to be checked. Because, like I said, he flipped at least 3 times. He thinks he flipped 4 times. He said he flipped twice. He closed his eyes and started praying, and he thinks the car went over 2 more times. So he said, my dad's on the way, and he said, I want to talk to my mama. And she said, okay, give me your mama's number. So she called me, and she said, I'm in the ambulance with your son. We're going to take him to the hospital and get him checked out. And I said, is he okay? And she said, yeah. She said, he's got a couple of scratches on his hand and everything, on his finger. And she said, we just want to take him and make sure the doctor doesn't think he needs any scans or anything. She said, do you want to talk to him? I said, huh? Bimbo! Mo, I got to go, my dog. Y'all just pray for us, okay? Pray for us.